Hey guys, I'm Alex. For those of you who haven't met me, I grew up in this church. I'm from Lancaster County originally, and I just spent the last 4 months full on with the ministry called Iris Global based in Mozambique. And so I just want to share a couple testimonies from Mozambique and Central Asia. So one time when I was in Mozambique, I woke up one morning and I heard a very specific number, like from the Holy Spirit. I heard $430. And I was like shaking my head, like, what does $430 mean? I'm like, I don't know. And then as I went throughout the day, I remember just immediately the Holy Spirit brought the name of a friend of mine from back in America to my heart. And I said, this is weird, you know, like this doesn't happen to me very much. So I slept on it, and the next morning, the first thing I thought of when I woke up was $430 for this friend. And so I'm like, all right. So I texted this friend, I said, hey, I hear how's your support raising going for your missions trip? And she said, it's going good, I'm almost there. And I said, well, I wanna give you some money. She said, oh, you don't have to do that. I said, yeah, God tells me I need to give you a specific amount. I said, how much do you need? She says, $400. I said, how about 430? She's like, no way. That's exactly to the penny how much I need. So I just wanna share that as a way of just encouraging you to really open your heart to hear from Holy Spirit. Maybe something happens out of the blue and you're like, I don't know where that came from. Well, maybe God's trying to speak to you more than you actually think. The second testimony I want to share is from Nepal. I have a couple pictures. So if you show the first picture here, I had met this young man in the middle 18 months ago, the first time I was in Nepal. His name is Diplov. And anyway, he was practicing a form of Buddhism and Eastern religion and meditation. That was his lifestyle, and he knew very little about Jesus. Well, when I had prayed for him the first time, I got a word of knowledge about his back. His back got healed instantly on the first prayer. And then after a 30-minute conversation, this man, Diplov, says, you've given up everything for this Jesus. I want to know him, but I'm not ready to follow him yet. So that was 18 months ago. So I came back through Nepal just 2 weeks ago, and I've remained in touch with him through Facebook. So I reached out to him and said, hey, Diplov, I'm gonna be in the area, I'd love to meet. He said, me too. So we meet at a cafe with a certain missions group that runs it. And after a 5-hour conversation at the very end, he says, I shared testimonies of miracles, of healings, of things God was doing in Africa and in Central Asia. And he looks me square in the eyes. He says, Alex, I need to be born again. And I said, you understand what this means? Like, you're gonna give up everything of your old life, but Jesus will give you a brand new one. He says, no, I get it. I need to be born again. So if you go to the next picture, this was us just 2 weeks ago. After he gave his life to Jesus, he got born again in the restaurant. He gets baptized in the Holy Spirit. He has a vision of Jesus. He sees him with a robe of pure white. He sees holes in his hands and a piercing in his side. And he never really read the Bible before. So can we give it up for Jesus real quick? So I had the privilege and honor of getting to baptize him a week before I left. And that was incredible. And the first thing he said out of the water was, I'm alive. And it's just been incredible. I got to journey with him for about 10 days in Nepal before I left. And he was growing and growing and growing. He just couldn't put the Bible down. It was incredible. And then my last testimony happened just earlier today in Lancaster City, because I'm here to tell you guys that being a missionary, it's not an occupation that I like get paid by the church and get supported by people and I go out in the world and therefore I'm a missionary. Like, every one of you has been called and commissioned by Jesus Christ. If you are a believer, you go from being the mission field to being the missionary overnight. So listen, so what happened was I was just in Lancaster City about an hour ago, and I'm super fired up for this because, you know, Iris Global has this motto of stop for the one. And I was on my way to dinner with my friends who are visiting tonight. A homeless guy was sitting on the bench and reached out and said, hey, excuse me, I need some money. And I said, hey, I don't have money, but can I get you something to eat? He goes, yeah. So we went to Prince Street Cafe, if you guys know where that is. And so we're talking, and anyway, long story short, I don't have much time, but long story short, I I shared a couple testimonies. He shared how he had a punctured lung 5 months ago because of something that happened to him and all this stuff. And I ended up praying for him. And after I prayed, he this is what he says. He says, I feel fire like everywhere. And I said, that's the Holy Spirit. He goes, yeah, but it feels kind of weird. And then he goes, and he feels his chest and he's moving his hand around. He goes, they're not there. And I said, what's not there? He said, the staples. He said, I got 3 metal staples put in my chest 4 months ago, and every morning I wake up and I can feel the pain. He says, they're not there. I said, are you sure? He goes to the bathroom, he checks his chest. Indeed, God had dissolved metal in his body. He had healed his punctured lung. All the pain had left.
Wow.
So yeah, and I don't feel pain in my chest anymore. It's gone.
Yeah.
And I feel warm inside. I don't feel sick anymore.
How long has that been since you've been in that pain?
For the staples being in my chest and the stabbing, it's been about 4 months, and now I don't feel it's gone.
Wow.
It's been 4 months of me feeling staples in my chest, and now I can't feel them anymore.
Praise Jesus. That's awesome.
Amen.
And we ended up sitting down for an hour, and he gets born again, gives his heart to Jesus right there in Prince Street Cafe. This is in Lancaster County, you guys.
Come on.
Like, if I can just say anything tonight, it's that there's just a lie in the Western church that like you have to go into a third world country to make a difference. And I'm here just to tell you that if you believe in Jesus, you are a missionary. And so anyway, those are my testimonies. I have a quick video that I posted of this young man sharing his experience from Prince Street Cafe on Facebook. If you're interested in seeing that, come talk to me afterwards. And I'm having a small gathering sharing more stories this upcoming Thursday here at Worship Center. So if you're interested in that, you can see me after.
Dude, thanks for sharing so much. Thanks for coming back to the community and sharing, bro. Is Jesus alive? Come on. Yeah.
Mike, what are you feeling right now?
Nothing really, no pain.
How'd you feel this morning when you woke up?
Like crap. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
I would love to see the report when you go to the doctors and they scan you again. Are you going back for a scan or? Yeah, Jesus just started healing Mike's foot, and he's just doing an amazing work here at the Living.
Oh.
So you couldn't do that this morning?
No, I couldn't put any weight on it. I couldn't even move my toes.
Wow. Seriously. And what the doctor say?
Yeah, just some bone damage and probably some tendon damage.
Can you just try would you want to try walking on it just slowly over here and just see how you feel?
Dude, I feel a little tingly, but that's about it.
Is that a good tingly or a bad tingly? Oh, hallelujah. Wow.
Holy crap. Yeah. That freaks me out. Holy crap. What?
He just loves you, man. That's it. It's just his love. Okay,
I had to skip out on a 5K because of this crap. Oh man. This is freaking me out, man.
Come on. Yes. Jesus just healed Mike's leg and his foot.